find your point of relaxation position-wise. What feels comfortable for you. Do a quick body scan as you start to settle. And so make those micro movements from the head down to the toes, like moving the ears if you can, wiggling the jaw just a little bit, not in a way that brings on pain, but just in a releasing tension kind of way, that pre-yawn feeling. Little wiggle in the neck, maybe push each of the shoulders back and forth, just a little bit to wiggle them into the fingers, push the elbows in to whatever is supporting you. A little wiggle lower down, a tush wiggle. And then just send it down the legs a little bit, rocking them back and forth, squeezing the feet. Nothing too aggressive, just from head to toe, a little bit of movement, with the awareness following in a scan. And finding the most comfortable spot. That's the goal. And from this point in the practice, it's not about not moving. It's just about finding a comfortable stillness. You might have to move or stretch, but if you do, try to do it quietly and slowly so as not to disturb yourself and that state of focused relaxation that you achieve. Like moving through honey. Which I always thought sounded awful because what god-awful size bee could make honey big enough to move through? But follow that sensation and that imaginary slowness that I've just hinted at into the areas around the rib cage. The lower sides of the ribs. Feeling them relax and separate and open as the lungs push down and out and inflate. And by now you've noticed the sound of your breath. And the awareness is probably bounced outside to notice a sound and then back to the breath. Right now, allow sound to pass through you. So tell yourself and allow yourself to relax. And to relax so thoroughly that sound moves through you. And start to listen for any sounds around you. And as you notice them, imagine that that sound wave passes completely through you. And instead of jarring or ringing, it moves through you. You remain undisturbed. Simply noticing the sensation of the sound wave passing completely through you. Not stopping, not getting stuck anywhere. And whatever the next sound is and the sound after that, whether it's outside or your breath or something else, or your breath again. Imagine the sensation of that sound wave passing completely through you. And as you start to let this go, go ahead and bring to mind your sankalpa, your short phrase of personal resolve. That thing you would like to get a little extra oomph from and give a little extra energy to help it bring into your life. That little seed watered by more focus to grow and bloom in your life. All fancy ways of just saying, what would you really like to have and embody right now? And once you've got it down to a small phrase, say that phrase to yourself in your head 3 times now. And let it go. And don't worry about whether you've gotten the most perfect one or you've got it perfectly correct and accounted for everything. That is not important. What's important is that you've said the thing that you want 3 times in your head, and you've let it go. Now, I'm going to call to mind various parts of your body. And as I do, try to picture each as clearly and as vividly in your mind's eye as you're capable of. If you cannot picture them clearly, remember that's perfectly okay. Just simply feel into the body part and visualize. Starting with the right hand thumb. Right first finger. Right middle finger. Right ring finger. right little finger, palm of hand, back of hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, right side of chest, right side of waist, right hip, right thigh, knee, shin, ankle, heel, sole of foot, top of foot, right big toe, right second toe, right third toe, right fourth toe, right fifth toe, rather than sleeping, please pay attention to my instructions as well as the sound of my voice. And take a moment to remind yourself that you are safe and you are in control. Left hand thumb, left first finger, left middle finger, left ring finger, left little finger, palm of hand, back of hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, shoulder, armpit, left side of chest, left side of waist, left hip, left thigh, left knee, shin, ankle, heel, sole of foot, top of foot, left big toe, left second toe, left third toe, left fourth toe, left fifth toe, please remind yourself to pay attention to the instructions, as well as remind yourself that you are safe and in control. All 10 toes, both feet, both heels, both ankles, both calves, both knees, both thighs, both buttocks, lower back, mid-back, upper back, shoulder blades, the space between the shoulder blades, spine, back of neck, back of head, top of head, forehead, eyebrows, temples, ears, cheeks, eyes, all the muscles around the eyes, nose, nostrils, upper lip, lower lip, chin, jaw, teeth, tongue, roof of mouth, back of throat, front of throat, collarbones, chest, abdomen, pelvis, right leg, left leg, right arm, left arm, right side of head, left side of head, right side of body, left side of body, back of body, front of body, whole body, whole body, whole physical body, Imagine that you are standing at the top of your head and looking down at your whole physical body. Are there parts that stand out clearly in your mind and hazy in others? Imagine that you're holding a picture, a picture of liquid light. And as you breathe in, you pour that liquid light of breath into the body. Notice where you pour it. Feel it enter as you inhale and rush to the rest of the body. Your pitcher of liquid light refills itself each time you empty it. It is a never-ending vessel of light straight from source. So don't worry about emptying it. Instead, shift your awareness to a different part of your body. Just pick one. And imagine pouring that liquid light into the body as you breathe in the light of breath, receiving it from that point on the body and pulling it, flowing it, spreading it throughout the body from that point. You may wish to do this for a couple of more breaths from this distinct point. Have fun experimenting with standing above your body and pouring this liquid light in on the breath from different points and noticing the sensations as you fill up the body with this light of breath. This shining, shimmering, liquid light of breath. Where are you? Where is your practice? As you continue to pour this liquid light into yourself with the breath, make sure that you get to the head, the hands, the heart, and your voice. Now pour the liquid light into and throughout the eyebrow center, the third eye. Reiki is being made available, which is just universal life force, potential energy. You do not have to accept it, but if you would like a little extra energy straight from source, it is being made available to you. And then start to fill up the next layer of self just around the body. You could call it the aura, the field around you, a protective covering, covering every surface of your body. Pour that liquid light and fill it up, as many pitchers as it takes. Or perhaps a pitcher of liquid light that never empties, pouring straight into your energetic field, however you visualize that, all around the body. Filling up with this liquid light. And on the next breath in, pause at the top, hold, integrate, and release. And let the practice go. Now, I'm going to call to mind sensations, feelings. And as I do, try to visualize them, imagine them vividly throughout the body, exaggerate them, explore them. Imagine a combined sensation of feeling frustrated and trapped, of being in a room where everything is placed in such a way that you would have to step over and around them just to not knock things over, that tension held through the body. And it seems like the room grows longer, filled with more stuff. And of trying to squeeze through stuff, of sucking the body in and holding it rigid, twisting and turning and maneuvering at these angles. And the feeling of frustration, of bumping into something accidentally. And the frustration of being frustrated at pushing something over, of giving in to the anger and making the way more difficult by collapsing something into your path. Now, find the opposite of all of those amalgamated feelings, that feeling of something being completed and done and out of your way, of the freedom to move in more directions than you were able to previously. The sense of not having to do something because it's already done. Of finding a freshly made bed. Of room service having come and picked up the mess. Of a room that, even though there may be walls, seems more spacious. And that relaxation that spreads throughout the shoulders, and the way that you sit differently in this opened, cleaned space. Of fewer things to worry about. Of finding a weight off of your mind that you didn't even know was occupying space until it was gone. Let this go and call to mind the following images. A dry piece of wood. A dry piece of wood. A dry piece of wood. A dead house plant. A dead house plant. A dead house plant. Crunched up autumn leaves. Crunched up autumn leaves. Crunched up autumn leaves. An ant carrying a piece of a plant. An ant carrying a piece of a plant. An ant carrying a piece of a plant. Several ants finishing up, cleaning up something. Several ants finishing up, cleaning up something. Several ants finishing up, cleaning up something. And as you look at it, you can only guess at what it might have been, something that they must have wanted to eat. But there are just pieces left on the ground. And a trail of ants leading off and away. And you start to follow the line of ants until you decide that you would rather walk in the grass. And you walk away from whatever the ants were doing. Along the edge of a yard, until you find a path that you hadn't noticed before. One of those ones that you didn't notice it because you have to be standing at the right angle to see it. It's pretty clear once you're looking at it from this angle. But you know, if you were to take a few more steps in either direction, either back from to where you were before, or ahead in the direction that you were going, you probably wouldn't see it. But since you're looking at it, you decide to follow this path. And it starts to lead you away into a semi-overgrown area, but still easily navigable. And you notice something caught in a thorn bush, kind of waving in the breeze. And you steer a little away from that on your walk. You have to climb over a few things and around them to get back on the path. But it's much better than getting caught up in those brambles and thorns. And you find yourself in a surprising little wooded area. That opens up to soft grasses and trees spread out. You pause and you listen for birds. And the stillness of nature that's actually bursting with life and yet somehow still and beautiful. And you lose track of time. And the sun passes overhead and sets, and dusk becomes night. And the sounds change as the temperature changes. And suddenly the same place feels completely different. And while you're not scared of the dark, you're not okay with just anything popping out. So you hold yourself a little differently and look around. And you hear movement. A crack, a thump. Your heart starts to race. But you take a breath in and calm yourself down. And you notice a shadowy shape. It's a dark horse. Moving between the trees. But something is both beautiful and yet ominous about this horse. You at the same time want to be its friend and yet know better than to disturb what it's doing. And in the back of your mind, you're aware that it's aware of you. And you watch it start to walk off and stop. And you decide to follow it. So you follow it through the night forest, keeping a safe distance behind. You find yourself back in town with no one else around but you and this dark horse. And you watch it approach a house with no lights on, around to the side, and a window. And it looks like it's neighing, like it's making a sound as it raises up and clops on the ground, but no sound actually comes. And then these shapes, these glowing, misty shapes, start to rise from the ground outside the window. And the horse starts to eat them. And some of the shapes you recognize, and some you don't. And then the horse is done and moves on. And it doesn't stop at every house and do this. But you follow it long enough to watch this happen a couple of times. And you definitely start to see the misty objects take on shapes, like thoughts and desires, but not adult ones. Simple things. Some make you feel not so happy. And some are gone as quick as you see them. And you start to wonder what this strange horse is doing. What is it calling up? Why is it doing what it's doing? And at one point it stops, and you stop, and it turns back, and you look at each other for a moment. And all the fear is suddenly not there anymore. And while you don't understand everything about it, you do think you know. The purpose that it serves. And it nods its head and turns and walks off into the night. And you find yourself standing in the grass, having just witnessed something beautiful and odd. And without knowing exactly how, knowing the world is a little better place because of it. And as you let this go, just let the thoughts come and go. You don't have to conjure them up. You don't have to do anything with them. In fact, don't judge them. Don't stop them. Don't change them. Don't indulge them. Just let them come and go. And from here, without too much effort or too much disturbance, bring to mind your sankalpa, that short phrase of personal resolve. That way of being, that thing you want. And sound it. Repeat it 3 times deep in this mind space, this relaxed focus. And if you want, imagine that all of the times that you've done this and all of the effort that you've put in this particular practice helps carry it further and deeper throughout your personal cosmos. And you say it 3 more times. Letting it go, willing to help it when you see it in your life. Now take your awareness back to your breath and the sensation at the nostrils. Cool air coming in, warm air going out. Cool air coming in, and warm air going back out. And come back to your body, all the way back to your body, right here and right now. Allow life to return to the limbs gently, the toes and the fingers and the face and the stretches. And because nobody has to be perfect, neither do I. And maybe there's something that you wish I'd said or a way that you wish I'd said it, something that would just make you feel like the bee's knees, like a complete practice, like exactly how you were looking to feel. So imagine that that had happened and draw the complete practice into yourself. And let it go. Hari Om Tat Sat, my friends. Thank you very much for coming to Psychic Sleep today.